So with that group in mind, guys, and Barrett, I'll start with you on this one. What should the expectations be for this defense?
The expectation should be, just from the personnel standpoint, you're going to be a lot more aggressive with the players that you have that you just talked about.
Sports Take back on this Wednesday. Rob Ellis, Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks hanging out with you. All right, so a couple updates. John Clark of NBC Sports Philadelphia is reporting that Britton Covey will be signed to the Eagles practice squad, number one. And then Tom Pelissaro of the NFL Network is saying that Reed Sinnett will be signed to the Eagles practice squad also. So they claim Ian Book off of waivers, and Reed Sinnett goes to the practice squad. So Book would be QB3. Sinnett would be a project, I guess. You're muted there.
Four quarterbacks in camp. That's interesting. Most teams at this stage don't do that.
I know.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of where things are right now. But so three of the receivers, Covey, Allen, Kane, all not claimed by anybody else. So they will be on the Eagles practice squad. So we'll update you as this goes. I'm trying to get as many of these in there as they come down the line here and we see them. It's going kind of fast and furious right now, but that's it from an Eagles perspective. If we're hearing anything else, we will certainly pass it along. All right. So let's jump into both sides of the ball and kind of what our expectations are, guys, because Barrett, let's hit this first from a defensive standpoint. You're looking at essentially if we're going from a 4-3 standpoint, okay, you got Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Josh Sweat. You have Kaiser White, TJ Edwards, Hassan Reddick. You have Darius Slay. You have Marcus Epps. You have Chauncey Gardner Johnson, and you have James Bradbury as your starters, which obviously that's subject to change depending on what kind of formation and how they're doing this thing schematically. So with that group in mind, guys, and Barrett, I'll start with you on this one. What should the expectations be for this defense?
The expectation should be, just from the personnel standpoint, you're going to be a lot more aggressive with the players that you have that you just talked about. With the corners that they have, James Bradbury, Darius Slay, you got Avonte Maddox, and I'm still going to say C.J. Gardner Johnson. That gives you the autonomy now to go out there and play tight coverage. I'm not saying, just in man-to-man situation, but also in zone situation where they have their zone, but you can play up tighter. You don't worry about them getting beat over the top because you trust the athletes that you have out there playing at the defensive back position. From a rush standpoint, you got guys that have done it before. You got Hargraves. Hargraves had 7.5 sacks last year. We're not even talking about, Brandon Graham's back, and he's looking even better. Josh Sweat had, I think, 7.5 sacks last year. You got better rushers. You got guys that can, heat it up. And we're not even getting into the Hassan Reddicks, him coming off the corner and you creating matchups with him just because you got Fletcher Cox. Do you leave Fletcher Cox or Hargrave one-on-one, Brandon Graham or Josh Sweat? Or do you slide the protection over to Hassan Reddick? As far as what this defense could do now, it used to be the Achilles heel of the defense for our defense that on first down, they were like led the NFL in efficiency for offense. I mean, they were averaging like 5-6 yards a pop on first down. When you allow an offense to get that much yardage on a first down, the sky's the limit on what you could do after that. I mean, your playbook gets immensely bigger because you now have the means to go out there and really basically run what you want to run. It's easier to call the offense. Well, now you're going to get into situations where you can blitz guys because they're going to be, they're going to be able to stop the run. You got Big Davis in there clogging up the middle. You're not just going to be able to run up the middle. So now you have your franchise cornerbacks out there stopping them on 3rd and 10, 2nd and 10. You know what I'm saying? It just puts you in a better mindset to be more aggressive when you have players that can really play.
Hey, two other things. Noga Tagai, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the tight end, has been signed to the Eagles practice squad. I thought he flashed a little bit. He had some moments for sure. Brian Westbrook, as reported by our own Jeff Kerr, Interesting gig for B West. He's been hired as the director of player engagement for the XFL.
Wow.
So B West taking a gig as
I
director.
was like, well, you said B West. I thought he was signed to, so I'm like, huh?
No, he's coming back to the Eagles.
Yeah,
He's going to be the starting run. No, but interesting that's
wealth of information, great personality. He's a perfect liaison for a position like that. So wish him well.
I wish him well, definitely.
Derek, so where do you fall on the question? You know, what like how big a jump should this defense take? Should this be a top 5 defense in the NFL? How do you see things shaking out?
You have characters now in this defense that have played this game at a high level. You have above average pass rushers. You are stout in the tackle position. You have active athletic linebackers. You have man-to-man cover corners now. You've upgraded at the safety position. You have everything that you need to be successful. Every time they step on the practice field, every time it's game day, there's a certain swagger they should walk out onto that field with every day. And because of that, they should also have an edge on their shoulders that they are out to prove something. When you look at where this defense finished last year for the guys who were holdovers and the guys that they have brought in, there should be no other motive than we are one of the best defenses in the league. We need to go out and prove it every week. They have the personnel to do that now. Anything less to me than finishing as a top 10 defense to me is not success for this defense. Anything less than finishing in the top 15 in quarterback sacks, quarterback pressures, quarterback hurries is not success for me.
Yep.
Unless, again, and you have to say this every time we talk about what we expect, unless there is a mad rush of injuries, there's no excuse for this defense to not excel.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Your edge rushers, you got a nice quartet of trio of edge rushers, nice quartet of D tackles, 4 good active linebackers now. Your secondary is better. You got bump and run corners. You got guys that can press. You got world-class trash talkers on that defense. You have everything that you need to be a superior defense in the NFL this year. So that's why I'm putting the onus now on them. Okay, you've got it. You've got the people. You got it from the trenches to the second tier to the last line of defense. You're one of the better teams on paper, in the NFL right now. Now you got to go out and prove it. Plain and simple.
Now, I'm with you. Like, this needs to be an impactful defense. This can't just be, oh, they're not bad. No, that's out the window. They need to get it. They need to create turnovers. They need to get to the quarterback. They need to put the offense in a good position with short fields like they didn't do last year. All these things have to happen. And look, I'm on the Gannon wagon. So come on. I'm the conductor. Jump on. But unless they are that defense, he needs to go. He either needs to, either some NFL other team's going to grab him up because everybody seems to love him or whatever, or he can't be here next year. Howie's done too much to put too much talent on that side of the ball.
Yes.
You can't emphasize this enough. You get an edge guy or a hybrid like Hassan Reddick who gets you double-digit sacks. You get Kaiser White who's on a 1-year deal who's starving to go out there and crush it and get a big deal.
Yes.
He played really well with the Chargers to the point where they miss him badly there, as they'll tell you. You get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You get Bradbury, and I'm probably missing somebody. But that's a lot of firepower that they just gave that guy. And it makes everybody's life easier. It makes Fletcher Cox's life easier, Hargrave's life easier. A healthy Brandon Graham is back now. This team has had a huge upgrade over the way. Just look at the personnel that finished the year, and some of what Rube said earlier, that finished the year versus what they have now. It's not even close. It's 2 different defenses completely.
See, I don't want to hear this. I do not want to hear this. We want to keep everything in front of us.
Right.
Okay? Because if that's the case, that means your corners are going to be playing 8 to 10 yards off the ball again.
Yes.
With this collection of corners you have, no. Come up and punch the receivers in the face. Knock them off their routes. You've got the talent now to play man-to-man coverage. I don't want to hear you talking about we want to keep. You know what? Every team's going to catch a deep pass. So what? They catch a deep pass. So what?
Yeah,
you got to go up and make quarterbacks hurry the decision-making process. You got to force them into making turnovers. They're not just going to give you the ball. You got to make them do things they don't want to do.
Yes.
You have to constantly attack. When we look at the better defenses in the history of pro football, Ravens 2000, 85 Bears, 49ers defense, so on and so forth. What do those defenses do? They went out and punched me. Hey, Eagles defense back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
back when they were running, 5 consecutive NFC champions, what did they do? They went out and slapped you in the face and dared you to do something about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
But we didn't have the athletes these past.
No, I'm talking about now.
6 years. I know.
You're right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
now you do. Now,
now you do.
Excuse now. There's no excuse now.
There is, you need to be the aggressor. You need to be the proactive one, not the reactive. Hey, we can hold them to a field goal. No, forget that. There's got to be aggression here. I'm not telling you got to send the house every single play.
I am.
Why not?
Look, to me, you can trust your defensive backs on an island. You can trust your safeties now. You have good linebackers now, which allows you to be more creative up front and do some things. And hey, look, if your front four, whatever configuration you're playing, is getting home, okay, by all means, let them continue to get home, and you may have to send extra pressure.
Rob, recent years, 49ers, Steelers, Tampa Bay.
Right.
What do they do every down? Send the house.
Yeah.
Send the house. They trust their personnel. Send the house. That's what you got to do. Plain and simple. When that opposing quarterback steps to the line of scrimmage, I want him looking both ways, figuring, okay, where is this pressure coming from this time? Which takes you off your mental game for a fraction of a second, which forces you to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
I want quarterbacks to think they're coming every play.
Well, how many times did we see comfortable quarterbacks last year? Ball padded. Second, third option, bip, 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 and it was surgery, right? That cannot happen. There isn't any excuse anymore. That's kind of the beauty of this year. It's the no excuse season. There's no excuses on the defensive side of the ball, and Hurts doesn't have any excuses on the offensive side of the ball. That's the beauty of this.
Exactly.
You can't continue to give you have no more excuses. So you can't continue to be like, all right, well, I didn't know. I don't know if I could have brought pressure because I really don't have the people to apply pressure now. There's no excuse now.
Yeah.
When you have the linebackers you have that can run the way you run, you got a guy in TJ Edwards that's going to stop the run. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about him. Oh, by the way, he's lost weight, had the best camp he's ever had, and came out and has been balling ever since then.
Yeah.
You have no more excuses on. All right, well, I couldn't send the house because I don't get enough pressure. Now you have pass rush. You got a double-digit sack guy. You got guys that can go out there and put some heat on the. All you have to do is call a game that's more conducive to those guys going out there and being more aggressive. They will be more aggressive if you allow them to be aggressive.
And I so two things that concern me. One, I want to make sure that Hassan Reddick's being used right. I want to see him utilized the way he was utilized the last 2 years. All right.
Right.
Number two, there are, it's great that you're going to do all this multiple stuff, but I do worry a little bit that some of it gets lost in the translation because you're changing things so much. Fair concerns for you guys as well, or am I overdoing it a little bit?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I mean, I like Gannon as a person. He's every time he talks, he's saying the right stuff now. When people speak on him, they're saying the right stuff about him. Now it's time for the talking to stop. Now I want to see, I want to see blitzes. I want to see guys going out there and I want to see fun and excitement. Right. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see fun because when you see fun and excitement from your defense, that means stuff is happening. I didn't see fun and excitement. I saw guys out there, all right, here goes the next play. Here goes. Instead of them looking like some crazed dogs out there, saying happy because they're out there. They're excited because they're making plays. You see guys jumping around, patting each other on the back, jumping over each other. You want to see that type of excitement on the field. It's nothing like, it got to a point, like I said, I always go back to the Steelers because that's all I know. I was a part of a championship season. When I would watch the defense, the offense would stand up and watch the defense, just put it on quarterback. I'm like, ooh, damn, I'm glad that's not, I'm glad I'm not rushing against him. Ooh, James. Ooh, it's great when you're sitting back and you're watching that happen. You know what I'm saying? When the offense is more excited to see what the defense is doing and vice versa.
Right.
I've seen that happen. I've seen, I watched the year they won the Super Bowl, 2017. The defense, Fletcher Cox and the rest of the defense were up, watching how LeGarrette Blount was just punishing people. Going downhill on that 68-yard run, the entire defense was up, jumping around on the side like, woo, hollering and screaming because they're excited about watching each other play. You got to see that. That's how it all starts, man. That's how it all starts.
There is not a quarterback, an opposing quarterback on this Eagles schedule this year that should be completing 70% of his passes against this defense. And that includes Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. There is not a quarterback on this schedule that should come close to completing 70% of their passes against this defense if the personnel is utilized to its full capacity.
Yep.
No question about it.
Agreed. All right, let's go to the other side of the ball. Not as many moving parts in terms of, upgrades. However, A.J. Brown is a monumental upgrade on that side. So now you go to battle with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, an offensive line that's got Mailata, Lane Johnson at your tackles, Kelsey in the middle at center, Landon Dickerson, and Isaac Seumalo. Again, you're talking about an incredibly talented team on paper, one that had moments last year of good and bad, but one that also last year was limited in that it had to be a primarily, heavy run team rather than just opening it up sometimes. So I'll start with you on this one, Derek. What are your expectations of this offense?
Big play capability. They should be. I'm going to give them a grace here. They should easily, by accident, be in top 10 in rushing. We assume that they're going to be more of a balanced team, maybe more of a passing team, more so than a running team. But a minimum, a top 10 running defense. I expect to see explosive plays. I expect to see long, sustained drives. I expect to see A.J. Brown do what we watched him do in Tennessee. Devontae Smith be that much better in his overall game in terms of physicality, route running, so on and so forth. I expect Quez Watkins to take that next step as well, and not just being a deep threat, but more of a complete receiver to broaden his route running tree a little bit more. I expect his offense to be exciting. I don't want to see a dud offense. My concern, again, starts with Miles Sanders. How many games will he play this year for this team? And how efficient will Jalen Hurts be under center? Those are two big concerns in terms of the success of this offense.
How about you, B?
What I expect from this offense is to be a very efficient offense. Whatever it takes. I mean, if it takes Jalen Hurts going out there and pass. I don't, the Shizzle talk about some, don't baby. Ain't nobody babying her. The training wheels are off. They're off. We're running offense now. There's no Simba, we got to run. No, we run when we want to run. And that's the difference between how you approach, games. I'm tired of, all right, we're going to run the ball because we can't. No, if we want to pass the ball, we're going to pass. If we want to run the ball, we're going to run. You got to have that mindset that it doesn't matter who or what you put out there. I'm going to dictate to you what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the attitude these guys have. You have the number one offensive line in the NFL. Use them. Mm-hmm. If you feel like, all right, I want to run the clock out, let me go out there and run 12 run plays in a row. I can do it. Or I want to open it up. I want to be more explosive. Let me put my 11 personnel on the field. That means, one running back, one tight end. If I want to go to A.J. Brown, I'm going to go to A.J. Brown when I want to. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Dallas Goedert. I'm going to go to him. You dictate what you want to do. Mm-hmm. That's the way this offense has to be. It's not doing something because we have shortcomings. No, we're doing it because we want to do it. I don't care what you run in our defense. And that's the difference between a championship mindset and just an okay mindset. Once we made our minds up that we're going to do something, there's nothing you can do to stop us. Nothing. All right, we're going to open it up. We're going to go to Plexico. With the Plexico. All right, you know what? Bessie, we want to put you in, man. We're going to run the clock out. Let's go out there and run. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We just pound you with Bussy. All right, we want a big play. We're going to run stretch play with Fast Willie Parker. All right, here you go. On 3. Ready, break. Hit. Boom. He's out the gate, 60 yards down the field. That's the luxury you need to have with this type of offense. We know that Jalen Hurts is a winning type of player. His intangibles put him in a position where he knows he can win. He knows if this shuts down, I can do this. Or I can get the ball now to A.J. Brown whenever I want to because I trust him enough to go out there and make a play. I trust Dallas Goedert to control everything in the middle of the field because he's a matchup nightmare. Against a linebacker, he's going to wear away from him. Against a safety, he's going to body him up and catch it. That's the difference between where they were last year, the year before that. They are gonna be able to control what they want to do and how they want to do it.
Yeah, I think A.J. Brown just changes the complexity of this offense so much.
Without a doubt.
Now you can't just concentrate on the outside on Devontae. He opens it up because he gives you that option of the 5-yard catch and then he rips off, 65 yards. And if you're not just game planning and saying, all right, we're going to stop Devontae Smith, or we're going to stop Dallas Goedert, they're going to probably focus on A.J. Brown early and let others beat them. This is where Devontae Smith can really shine. Yep. And I think where Dallas Goedert can really shine. And then, then you forget about the fact that, hey, this is a hell of a running team. And you have guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield and Gainwell and Scott too. So it's like pick your poison for me with this offense right now. And this is where we're really going to find out if the quarterback is up to this. And because it's there now. And he's had an entire offseason in this system. He's had an entire offseason working on mechanics and going through reads and everything that we talk about all the time that we need to see from Jalen Hurts. And you hope that the coaching staff doesn't approach this with training wheels. I want them to just come right out and just say, man, have at it, Jalen. There's no restrictions here. We trust you. So go out and do your thing. And you have the ability to beat teams in a lot of different ways where other teams are dependent on one thing or the other. They got to pass it or they got to run it. That's not the case with the Eagles. It's all there right now.
You know what? I mean, it's a luxury to saying, all right, you know what? We're up by 20. Let's go ahead and just run the rock and just, let's just, finish this game. Let's go ahead and close this game out. We're going to close the game out halfway through the third.
Chargers game in 2017.
Yeah, we're just going to close this game out. We're going to go and run the rock. Hey, defense, you guys stay on the sideline. We're just going to go out here and have a 20-play drive.
Yeah.
We're not even going to put the ball in there. We're just going to drive it down on them. Or say, all right, man, you know what? We want to get up quick. Let's get up quick on them in the first half. Let's get up quick on them. Let's go out and just let's just bomb them to death. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit underneath. We'll hit underneath, bomb them. We're going to go ahead and score real fast. That way we can get a lead on them. They have that type of offense. They can do that, man. I'm telling you right now, they're in an offense where they have players that, big play threats that are consistent type of big play threats. AJ is a guy that you can consistently get it to because he is so strong at the point of attack. When he gets the ball, when he goes and gets it, he attacks the ball. That's the difference. You got a guy in a slim reaper. I mean, look at Smitty. Devontae Smith can get open from anybody. You can't hold him one-on-one. His route running creates separation because he's so quick. Like I said, Dallas Goedert's a matchup nightmare. And if all else fails, let's just pound the rock.
Yeah, to me, look, I think that's well said. I think there's a lot of different ways that this offense should be able to take it to you. Look,
let's go, baby.
I know you got to be careful getting ahead of yourself.
No, we ain't careful of nothing. No, forget all that. I ain't care about nothing.
I agree, man. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the played scared thing. I think this roster's really good, and all you can do right now is project. Nobody's played a game. All right, I think they're going to be really, really tough.
I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, he's drinking the Kool-Aid." Oh, no, I'm not saying I'm not drinking. I'm not necessarily saying I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. But I've seen what a championship roster's made up of because I was on a championship roster. When you compare my championship roster to this roster, you look at it. We have a Casey Hampton and Davis. We have a Joey Porter and Hassan Reddick. We have guys that can do that. We have, an Aaron Smith and Fletcher Cox. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a Troy Polamalu. That we don't have. But the other DBs are better than the DBs that I had with them. Those DBs are better than Ike Taylor, the guys that I had there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had some pretty good DBs. Deshae Townsend. Mm-hmm. They're not on the level of the guys I had, Big Play Slay and Bradbury. They're nowhere near that type of player. So what I'm saying is I'm saying it from a position that, all right, I've seen what it taken. I've seen what it takes. A young Ben Roethlisberger before he was Big Ben, that's who I played with.
Right.
I played with Ben Roethlisberger, not Big Ben. Big Ben was later on in his career. I played with Ben Roethlisberger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's different. It's different.
Okay. Listen, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. So, yeah, look, it's exciting. And they're the 9th youngest team in the NFL. They go out there and make all those moves. All the players from the 2022 draft made the roster. 8 of 9 from the 2021 draft. They only have 8 players left from the Super Bowl team. So the only ones left from the Super Bowl team, guys, Kelsey, Cox, Lane Johnson, Sayamalu, Brandon Graham, Barnett, Elliott, and Rick Lovato, the long snapper. That's it. That's how quickly this league turns over, man. It is the ultimate not for long. That's for sure. It's changed over a lot. They've gotten a lot younger, and I think they're a lot deeper and a lot better than what they were last year. So the expectation should be high, and nothing short of at least winning a playoff game is acceptable.
The hype train is already running.
Yeah, it is.
They haven't even, they're not warming up the locomotive. The hype train for this team is already on the tracks and is running right now.
Yep.
It's already reaching full steam before the kickoff of the first game. And they better come out smoking. They better come out smoking. There's so much expectation for this team. They better come out smoking. That first game is going to be a test because I expect them to be a little rusty because of lack of game experience. But by the second half against that particular team, they should be able to assert their dominance on their team. Although I keep saying, I got caught up watching this Hard Knock stuff, man. And
I watched it too. Now that I look at it, I'm looking at it from a whole different vantage point.
Yeah,
they suck.
Detroit sucks?
Yes, they suck.
What makes you say
I don't
that?
know, man. That boy Aiden Hutchinson's a bad man.
Aiden Hutchinson is a bad man.
That's a bad man.
We got a bad offensive line, man. These guys can ball, man. Aaron Glenn is calling the defense.
Yes, yeah.
Come on. No.
You're not a fan of Aaron Glenn?
No, we're not a defensive coordinator. No. The Eagles better put it on. They may not be able to stop them offensively, period. They better be rocking and rolling, man.
I have a feeling it's going to be close.
No.
I know. Listen, I hear you.
Did you watch? All right. Did you watch? Did you watch? What is it again?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knock.
I know. I haven't yet,
bruh. I watched Hard Knocks yesterday, man, and they're going against Indy.
Yeah.
And Indy don't even have their horses in there when they're in the practice. When they're practicing, they ain't even got their horses in there.
Yeah.
And they get ripped apart. Come on, man. Come on now.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, there are Eagles right now. I checked it last night. It's moved a little bit, but the line for the Eagles Lions game week 1 is still sitting at 4. So the Eagles are 4-point favorites. So if I put you on the spot right now, you say the Eagles cover the 4. They win by more than 4 points.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Write it down. Take a picture.
I think the Eagles win, but I don't know if I would lay 4 points.
4 points.
That first game is always the hardest to pick because you don't know which teams are ready.
Yeah, they play games close too. I'm just saying.
4 points. Are you kidding me?
Now look, that's a gambling standpoint. It doesn't matter as long as you win the game. That's all that really matters.
No, it's not. Sure. No, this isn't a game. As long as you win the game, we need to utterly and totally dominate this team. Forget all that rhetoric. You can't think like that. You think like that, you're already defeated. You got to think from a championship mindset.
Okay.
A championship mindset is all right. And yes, Shiz, I'm talking cash. Yes.
You don't expect them to come out a little rusty because of the lack of playing time?
Shizzle.
No, I'm saying you don't expect them to come out a little rusty?
Bro, they got a week and a half to get that rust off.
I'm talking about game speed, though. They
got a week and a half to get all that.
It's been two polar opposite approach. Campbell's 90 miles an hour. Everybody's playing, and the Eagles have been very cautious and just keeping everybody healthy.
All that caution is done. Done.
Okay. Full speed ahead.
Gotcha.
All right. I like it. We will keep the Eagles talk going. We will dive into some NFL questions as well. We're going to look at the best divisions and rank them in the NFC and the AFC and predict who will win the division and who will make the playoffs from each division. We'll do that. We'll dive into week 18. We'll give you some other updates around the league, certain players visiting certain teams who were cut. We'll get into all that. Phillies go down last night in the desert. Has not been pretty so far in Arizona for them. We'll talk about that as well. We got a lot more in store. You don't want to go anywhere. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network on this Wednesday. All right, now we will discuss our good friends at Razor Technology. IT infrastructure environments are more complex and heterogeneous than ever before. Consequently, teams struggle to pressing issues with speedy recovery that's necessary to promote positive business results, and the data that powers predictive monitoring and automation is left unexploited. Razor Technology addresses this challenge with a holistic approach that connects every part of an organization's technology assets, enabling proactive and secure IT operations without sacrificing the agility that drives innovation. Razor Technology automates monitoring and management to bolster IT teams that are feeling stretched thin. And it improves auditing and reporting procedures so that actionable insights can find their way to the leaders that need them most. Save time and money on your IT and cloud services and secure your organization with leading end-to-end infrastructure solutions by calling Razor Tech today at 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit them online at razor-tech.com, razor-tech.com.